Can you make money as a spiritual woo-woo person? Hi, I'm Lucy Griffiths and I embrace all things woo. I am very spiritual. I meditate a couple of times a day and I always make sure that I am feeling in alignment with what I do in business. But it wasn't always that way, and for a long time I had enormous guilt about making money. I felt really guilty about actually charging people both my worth but also just making money, because I felt like it wasn't something that felt good. It felt like it was, oh, I can't do that if I'm a kind of this kind of person, I'm a spiritual person. It doesn't feel in alignment with me. And so for a long time, there was a disconnect between the wanting to make money and actually what was happening in my business and, actually charging my worth. And so for many years, I kind of removed myself from the process because of this guilt and these awkwardness that I felt about it. And I started selling digital courses. And so if you feel awkward about selling a digital course is so much easier because you are removing yourself from the process. You are selling the course rather than yourself. So it's easier to talk about, it's easier to sell. And so that was a huge kind of mindset shift for me that helped me to sell. But one of the most important things that I've really learned, and I would say this has probably been in the last few years as I've gone on a very much a spiritual journey, is that there is actually an alignment. When you are in alignment with yourself, that everything else flows from that. And so when you feel in alignment, when you're talking to your soul and you are doing things rather than kind of an ego-led, I should be doing this in my business, you're doing it on a much more spiritual level, where you're doing it where it's like, this feels really good. And you are doing something because it feels you're connected with that. And it feels, there's a beautiful synchronicity. When you're in that space, actually, then the money just flows. So you don't need to feel guilty about, oh, should I be making money and I'm spiritual? Because it just is interconnected. It just flows. So what I want you to do is really to tap into you. And that means listening to your inner voice. That means, really calming yourself. I find a really great way to do this is breathing in for 4. So I'm going to do it with you. So breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then hold your breath for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for 4. Through your mouth. And by doing that, and do several rounds of it. So in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And carry on doing this. So you continue that cycle of doing this. And then you will find that the breath work allows you to kind of connect to a deeper version of yourself. It connects you at your very core with what you really want, rather than the noise and the ego and the shoulds. And when you connect with that inner calling, then you really are following your purpose, because it connects you with what your soul really wants you to do, what you are meant to do, and what you at a soul-led level desires to do. And so from that, it doesn't become like a should factor. There's not a need or a want. It's just the path. It's your dharma. And so when you're in that space, it's so much easier to sell, because it just feels right, rather than it being like there's not an ego or a pushing or a striving or a hustling. And so as a spiritual person, there's just a flow and a synchronicity to it. So it's just like, oh, here's what I have, and somebody said, oh yes, thank you, that's just what I need. And there's a beautiful kind of alignment with it. And so the more that you can step into that place, everything else will flow. So the money will flow, the abundance will flow to you because you're in that special place. You're following your dharma, but there's a synchronicity and alignment to it. And so the more that you can be in that space on a day-to-day basis, for every decision that you make in life, for every business decision, if you are coming from that place, everything's just much easier. It just works. It's easier to manage. It's easier to get things done. It's not a struggle. It just happens. And so by just being in flow, it's a nice way to be. It's less stressful. You get stuff done much, much quicker. And so you have more time for your life. You get to live more, work less, and you make more money as well. So really stop the noise, stop stressing, and go within and allow yourself to be from that position where you can make money. It will work out and you can find that flow and that grace that you are looking for. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it, it gave you some insight and really helped you to tap into the person that you truly want to be. If you want to learn more about building an online business that lights you up and fulfills your passion and purpose, then I'd love you to subscribe and I'll see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye 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 for now.